my dear students. Welcome you all back to our social class. We are dealing with the economics chapter consumer right, and today we are going to see the rights of the consumers and how are the consumers are exploited in the society. In previous class itself I have explained you that the consumers are exploited in our nation in a very large manner, and we have also seen about the Swapna's case where she has been getting loan from the informal sector where she is being pushed into a debt trap. And also we saw that the MNC companies have started exploiting the domestic producers and also the small producers, craftsmen and other peoples around us. And it not stop with that alone, it even gave it has started restricting the people to work in an organized sector. It has pushed the laborers, workers in the garments, factories and other areas to move into an unorganized sector where the living condition of the workers, factory workers and the laborers were highly affected. So, the MNC company has already started affecting the lives of the living human beings in the nation where it has established. But now we are going to see about the consumers, how the consumers are affected. So, if you see consumer movement, that is what is today's topic. So, first, before getting into that, we'll see what is a consumer. A consumer is an individual. So, is an individual who buys products or services for personal use. So, he is going to buy a product for, or he is going to get a service like transportation service or hospital facility or something like that for his personal use. Okay, so that is called as a consumer. So you and me, when we go for buying in the market areas and we utilize that for ourselves and our own family, it is known and we are called as the consumers. Okay, so whose decision is that? Who makes the decision in that? It is the decision which has been taken by the consumer to buy the product, okay, from a particular shop, or what is the product that he is going to buy, item at a store. So if you see, it is the consumer only is going to decide. It is not going to be decided by any of them. Consumer means one who buys the product. You and me are also the consumers of India. Okay, so consumer is someone who can influence, who can be influenced. See, consumer is someone who can be influenced by market and advertisement. Yes. So as we saw previously itself, like consumer is a person who will be buying product by seeing the advertisement which is available in the televisions. Like we go for the complaints, we go for the health things. Why to go for one particular product? So if you go into the products like the health drinks, there you can find the work of, like, just they say that it is giving a lot of healthiness to the people, but actually what is happening, once we do research only we'll be knowing. So it is attracting the people. Like you have the jelly men's advertisement and all, jelly chocolates which is being sold, where the toys, where the jelly men's comes and dances, which creates an interest, and with a different color it is dancing, which attracts the kids to push their parents to buy. So that is also happening through advertisement. Marketing. There are ways in which the sellers do marketing, where they enter into the place, like sell like this will do that work, this work. So it will like be a brainwashing for the consumers, and it makes them to buy it. So this is also happening for the consumers. If you see about the next thing, like an example that you have is, any time someone goes to the store and purchase a toy, shirt, beverage or anything else, they are making their own decision as a consumer. Even you go, or if I am going also, we are only going to make our own decisions. Yes or no, my dear students? No one is going to influence us. right? So it has been the decision of the consumer only. So nowadays you can find that the teenagers means 16 17, like teen comes, no? So they are called as teenagers are becoming the more important consumers in our nation. You know why they are being considered as the most important consumers? If you see, the teenagers are the most important consumers today's market because they go for the trend changing. So they go for the modernized aspect of modernized aspect of cosmetics, dresses, mobile phones. So these things make them to create a trend in the society. So by seeing that, more number of people will buy it. So that is also happening. So this is one thing. So they say the teenagers are being considered as the most important consumer today, and they know well what to choose and what to buy. So that is why they considered the teenagers as the most important. See, teenagers, as I told you already, the teenagers are being considered as the gatekeepers as well as modern trenders. Gatekeepers means ones who provide an opportunity, like they are being the opener for everything. Okay, and modern trend is also brought by them with the internet and social media, which is developed recently, has made them to utilize that and buy their own products. Teenagers have now become the most informative persons, right? They get a lot of informations using their own mobile phones, using their own devices, which creates them with or which provides them to have a lot of information. So the teenagers go in search of the modern tools, modern equipments, which can facilitate them in a better manner. So this is also done. So then you can see that there is an history behind this consumer. So it has been started in the month of March 15, 1962, United President John Kennedy put forth the Consumer Bill of Rights. So he was the first person to ask about the rights of the consumer. So he filed a case in order to help the consumers, in order to make the consumer understand what is their rights and responsibility. From 1865 onwards, we have the 6 consumer rights which have been adapted in United Nations Assembly, but none of us know that these rights are existing for the consumers. So this has resulted the consumers to have a strong protection, and the rights have been made and policies available throughout the nation. You can find that it will protect the consumers in a very well manner. And 15th March has been declared as the Consumer Rights Day in the world. So this is the history of consumer rights. Okay. So after that, you can see that we have the consumers. Consumers or the person, we saw it as the person who is going to buy the product from the shops. So they should be protected, we saw. So for protecting, we need an organization. So that organization should function in a fair manner, right? So if you see we have seen previously in our book also how are the consumers exploited. Right? Now we'll see other ways through which the consumers are exploited. Limited informations are being provided. If you take in the previous video itself, I explained you like false informations are given, but here only limited informations will be given, like name of the product, price, quality, conduct of using. So these things are being the mandatory thing which has to be printed. If it is an edible product, it has to be given with the manufacturing date and expiry date. So all these things should be mentioned. If there is unlimited information is only available and there is no proper information, it is also another way through which the consumers are getting exploited. Then limited supply. Consumers are exploited when the goods and services are not available in the required quality or numbers. Like that is, the number of production is not been available. Then it is also known as the consumer exploitation. Then limited competition, when only one production or group of people produces and they store it, they safeguard it for some reason, and when the price of the product is higher and it is being sold at that time, that is also another way through which the consumers are exploited, like hoarding. Okay, and it also indulge in the manipulation of the prices also. Manipulation means like when the demand is there at a high rate, you can find that at that time the price of the products will be higher. Like now we have the onion price which has been continuously rising because there is a limited supply which is available. Then educated people, so educated people know, they know to read, write, so they can write. But illiterate people, what they will do, illiterates is one of the major drawback for them, because of which they are getting exploited. Like they don't know to read, they don't know to ask questions, so it is another reason through which the consumers are exploited. So consumers have certain rights which has to be protected by them. Okay, my dear students, so this is about today's class. Tomorrow I'll detailedly explain you about the consumer movement. Okay, thank you students.